Hello, everyone. Welcome again to an interesting episode of Temi Tension's Podium. I am still your humble host, Temilolua Ogundele, and I'll be taking you today through an interesting conversation. I'm sure a lot of you have been wondering, okay, are we going to be talking politics this time around during this episode, or what is Temi bringing up to this podium again? But trust me, this is a little bit of politics, but more of entertainment. And because we have an amazing person on our platform and our episode this day, we'll be talking more of entertainment and politics. We'll be talking about music and activism, very dynamic topic, and how Nigerian artists, promoters, etc., uses their platform for social and political issues. Today we have somebody that is very, very important, an important personality, so to say, someone who resides all over the world. I used to know him from afar, but not like personally. And I believe that is someone that a lot of other people look up to, imitate, and sees as a role model. He's an interesting person. I used to tell someone that this person is so humble, and I find it a very big honor to have him on our platform today. He's no other person but Olamide Baron. And today we'll be talking to us about, how musicians, artists can use their platform to promote Nigerian politics in Nigeria. So basically, hi Olamide.
Hello. Hi. Thank you.
Good to have you on our
Yes, I'm so
platform.
happy
Thank you
to
for
be here.
gracing us today.
Honestly, I just have to do this. I don't know if you noticed, I'm in the car. I'm actually on the motorway because I have to travel to London for something very urgent. But about to pull in to the service to do this interview. So I'm so happy and I'm so honored to be here.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. How has the entertainment world been like for you generally? And how have you been? And what would you think, or how would you compare the Nigerian entertainment world to the United Kingdom entertainment world?
Oh, well, that's a very, very good question. Um, First of all, the Nigerian entertainment world and the UK. All right. So I'd say the UK is a bit more regulated.
Mm,
However, it's very, very vital as well. The Nigerian entertainment, so Afrobeat per se, is Nigeria is like the cradle, is like the base where everything starts from, where everything emanated from, and the UK, on the other hand, is where you sort of grow.
mm,
As soon as you're discovered in Nigeria, the UK is the next stage and the next phase of your life and your
mm,
career. So as soon as you're blown in Nigeria, the next place you have to touch or the next stage is the UK. And as soon as you're accepted in the UK, you can sort of say you've been accepted around the world. Because if you look at it, once an artist is discovered from Nigeria, I personally and my company um, are a very, very volatile platform whereby we expose the artist to the world. So if you look at the say B, C, and D list artists right now. So the B list artists are the artists um, aside Burna Boy, Davido, and Wiz. And apparently, I believe Ashake and Rema are now categorized as the A list now. Um, the B list, the C, 90% of them sort of have to pass through our company or our institution. This is the baroninc entertainment. So is what we do. We're so good at, exposing and showcasing the talent to the UK. And from there, we start getting calls from around the world. Hey, Baron, can we
mm.
have this guy in America? Can we have him in Europe? Can you have him in the eastern region and everything. So the Nigerian entertainment industry, as I said earlier, is the cradle and the base, and the UK is the secondary and the tertiary institute whereby you need to pass through to the worldly. and to be highly recognized around the world. So
Um, I want to believe that the entertainment sector derives a lot of income for or generate a lot of income for Nigeria. So even like
yeah,
when you have events, when this artist or A-list artist blows up in Nigeria, like they're recognized in Nigeria and they come in diaspora world to, perform and all of this, there's still, maybe some remit or, payments that the Nigerian government can benefit, from this entertainment industry. Do you think that the entertainment world is actually getting that recognition and the required acknowledgement for what you guys are doing in terms of promoting the music industry? Because that's what, literally indirectly, that's what you're doing. You're promoting Nigerian music all over the world, irrespective of whether the person is blown in Nigeria or is recognized or famous in Nigeria. You still promote or bring out the Nigerian art, so the diasporan world. So but do you think you are being like this whole team and these people are being recognized by the Nigerian government or acknowledged accordingly to how much impact they bring or make for the country?
yes, I believe so. I believe Nigeria and the government are beginning to recognize the impact of the entertainment industry. The previous administration of President Muhammadu Buhari acknowledged and awarded some entertainers to become members of it's called MON or it means that yeah we're doing something that is quite great, and of course you can see that what the entertainment industry is generating is affecting the Nigerian economy positively. Just take a look at it on in a layman term, yeah. So if an artist is traveled to the UK to tour, usually we have to send um 50% of whatever it is that is agreed to them, and we have to send it to Nigeria. So let's assume we signed a contract with an artist worth £50,000, for instance. Uh,
Mm.
we have to send £50,000 to Nigeria for them. So £50,000 to Nigeria at the moment, the rate of 100 million naira, and that's just one artist, and that's just like an average or a very very low term contract. So, and if you think about it, when you go up, think about the revenues generated from people like Burna Boy, from people like Shay Vibe, from people like Whiskey. You know, Burna Boy, Wiz, David, these are people that sells out stadiums around the world. One way or the other, this revenue still have to come back to Nigeria. Even if they're holding an international account, one way or the other, there's a way this money goes back to Nigeria, and then it goes through the government. It goes, they have to pay taxes from it, and then they have to sort of pay their staffs, of their family. So one way or the other, it is making a very great impact in Nigeria. And right now, Afrobeat, the music industry is a very, very great export, because if you think about Afrobeat, think about Nigeria with the number one. And right now, you see the kind of recognition Afrobeat is getting around the world. So it's a major. So when you're talking about crude oil right now in Nigeria, talking about other sort of resources that helps our GPA, then you should talk about the entertainment industry as well. So yes, we're getting there, and it's major around the world now. You can see even all the bigger American artists that we always look up to that wants to work with us. They want to come to Nigeria. They want to feature us. Some of them are even going as far as employing Nigerians on their team, so as
Mm.
to sort of communicate, and so as to generate some sort of engagement from Nigeria. So it's major. It's major.
Um, I actually find that very interesting because I believe that one set of people that I recognize or easily noticed all over the world is the people in the entertainment industry. And I believe that I for one believe that the entertainment or promoters, so to say, let me be very specific now. I believe that promoters can also use their platforms to, create some social awareness or create some social events that would not just sit in the diaspora world, but will contribute, not necessarily monetarily or financially,
Mm.
but contributes to the voice of the voiceless, so to say, in Nigeria. For instance, I know that a lot of artists, a lot of promoters, they get backlash once they get themselves involved in politics. It's only very few of them that has found the boldness to talk or use their platforms, not necessarily for political reason, but also for social cause, just like what happened in November 2020. And I feel like a lot of people are kind of laid back. Now, what I feel like the world sees entertainment more. Even an average citizen would always go on TikTok or use their social media platforms to see what's happening in the entertainment trend. A lot of people are less involved in other causes that happen in Nigeria. And I believe that these platforms would be, if strategically used, would also be used to pass across a lot of messages, not just performing entertainment, but like also championing social causes in Nigeria. And the reason why I'm particular about Nigeria is because irrespective of like where we are all over the world, we're still representing the country. And even this artists that we all obviously bring out of Nigeria, they are still Nigerians that represent Nigeria, and we always represent Nigeria. So my question now would be that, do you really think promoters navigate some of this risk of backlash while managing events in diaspora world?
Oh yeah. So I really that's a very very good question. So I would give kudos to some set of artists who address the issues and the problems our people are facing back in Nigeria in their songs thematically. So people like Burna Boy does that a lot. I mean, he sings sometimes and touch on very very sensitive topics about what's going on in Nigeria. People like P Squared, Timaya, David also does that
Yeah.
sometimes, and I mean that's just their own way to to inform the people about what is going on. Promoters, on the other hand, I understand what you're saying, but most of the time, we think about it and say, okay, what effect is this gonna have on the government? Okay, let's say we are hosting a concert for about 10,000 people in diaspora, right? And then we first of all, some artists do not literally want to get their brand associated with the struggle going back home there. So they just
Mm,
want to do their thing, and most of the artists, everybody have ways in which the past messages. Some people just don't want
mm,
to do it with their concert, with their brand. Some people does it in their music. Some people, the way they do it is if there's a contest, if there's a contest or a sort of rally, or there's a walk in Nigeria, they join the work and they are in the forefront. People like Falls as well think about this thing. If there's a sort of campaign against bad governance, Falls is always out there. However, he doesn't really believe attaching that struggle to his content. So
mm,
most of the time, some people or some concert goers just want to come and have fun. They're not interested in the political part of things. Do you understand what I'm saying? So if some people buy tickets to come and listen to the artist, see them sing, they don't really want to concern themselves with what's going on, and you can't force it on them. I don't know if you understand. So if an artist thinks about it, and if you're a consumer and you're not interested in it, you don't listen to the song. But if you buy a ticket to go to a concert, you want to go to a concert. So if
yeah.
you want to attend a gathering where people are protesting or a campaign, then there are channels in which that is done and it gets its own people. So most of the
Mm,
time, promoters, of course, are not in the position to merge or attach, um, enlightening the people about bad governance or what's going on in Africa with what we're doing. So most of the time, the major goal is to promote the artist and his brand, and also the second thing is to get the people to get the people closer to all these people that see on TV. And the thirdly is just to make money, to make ends meet. So um, trying to sort of merge that with a campaign most times comes last. And by the time you consider the factors attached to this event, setting up these gigs are not even easy, first of all. And
Mm,
also, if you start to bring that up or promote politics, already you are dividing your consumers, you're dividing spectators, you're dividing the concert goers, you're dividing the people who want to come because most of the time, the moment, let's say for instance, you're trying to inform the people, enlighten the people on a particular administration, what they're doing wrong, what they're doing bad. There's a faction that administration
yeah.
has its supporters, and then it has the people who are against it. So already there are some people who are not happy with the fact that you're addressing that on the concert.
Mm,
So you're losing some people already. So that's why. But we always try to find a balance. We always try to find a way because we as promoters, we have followership, we have engagement. If there's time to sort of there's time to address that or to enlighten the people, we put that together. We hire the venue and say, yes, there's a political meeting, there's a political gathering that's going to happen, and we would love
mm.
people to be part of it. So it's usually different from the
From the
so at the end
regular.
of the day, yeah, from the regular entertainment or concerts or gigs.
Yeah, I mean, as an expert in this business, what are the challenges that you guys actually face 90% of the time, 100% of the time in, bringing artists to the other world or to a place to perform? What are the challenges you guys face or encounter?
Well, um, the challenges are so much. The challenges are so much, and honestly, if I start to list them now, we might not get um get to be done with this interview because there's a lot. The first thing is the financial, the finances. It's a lot. It's a lot now, and because Afrobeat is getting a lot of attention now, the stakes are higher.
Mm,
Is unlike 10 years ago or 12 years ago when we were doing this, whereby you can set up a gig with a couple of £1,000 or more. If you have 5 to 10,000, you can set up a show. It's totally different now. On the average, our gigs or concerts now, setting it up from the visas to flying the artists down here to the venues, the promotions, and everything. On the average right now, it costs about £50,000.
mm,
Then that's like the minimum. Except you decide to go for the low, low, low. So that means you go for the artists that are not known at all, who are not going to charge or pretty much charge very little. You go for the venues that are not as big, that are not as exposed. And then in return, what you get is very, very low, or you might not even get anybody to come and see it because people are
mm,
busy. I mean, people are working to feed their families. People, so they're not interested. If it's not major, if it's not real, then they're not interested. There are a lot of things bothering people. So now you need to invest between 50 to 150,000 pounds for something not sure. You're not even sure you're going to make 20 or 30% of it. And most of the time when we set up this gig, we only make profit about 30, 40% of the occasion. Most of the time it's either you break even or you make loss. Because if you look at
mm,
it, if you invest £100,000 on a gig, you're expecting to have maybe 10,000 people to
mm,
attend the gig for you to be happy. Where are the 10,000 people? It's not easy. Then if you have to break the shows into cities and averagely you're looking for 3,000 people in different cities, most of the time you don't get to see that. It's not easy at all. So the first thing is the financial. Second thing is the factors. People are going through a lot naturally. So even if they really want to attend the event, they now have to consider childcare costs. You need to consider the cost of buying tickets to come to the venue, how they're going to
Mm.
transport themselves, because most of the time they can't come on public transport. How will they transport themselves to the event? Um, so much and so forth. And with all these factors, from one stage to another, you lose your customers. So
Mm.
if people think, oh, I've got children, I need to pay the mind that, then some people are gone already. Oh, I'm working, I cannot make it. Some people are gone. I've got uni, some people are gone. So no matter how much or how big the artist or the concert is, and we need to understand that this is not really our culture. It's different from the Western world, whereby
Yeah.
concerts growing, football thing is like a culture, is like a religion. Do you understand?
Mm.
So easily in the Western world, you can fill up 20,000, 50,000 capacities easily. We're getting there, we're breaking the boundaries, but then we're still not yet there on that stage. However, our artists and our talents are worldwide known, so they're not charging cheap fees anymore. But then
Mm.
we're in this field already. This is what we've been doing for like 15, 16, 17 years of our life. So it's
Mm.
difficult, but then we always try our best to find a balance.
I
So
mean,
sometimes we make love.
I feel like a lot of time, a lot of promoters don't really say the kind of encounters they have personally with some of these artists, because I, for one, would think there could possibly be a challenge in human behavior and managing human behavior. If you see, have you ever encountered any difficult artists throughout the process or throughout your, being a promoter?
Yeah, so to be honest, that's a very, very huge factor that I didn't mention. It's so huge. It's like it's basic, it's primary. Human factor, artists are not normal people anymore. And the more you understand that, the easier it is for you to sort of work with them. So some promoters still feels like artists are everyday people. No, they're not anymore. So,
Mm.
and the higher they get, the more they become aliens.
Mm.
So, um, they have huge demands. They have huge demands, and you can't get upset with that. That's just who they are, and you have to live with it. You have to cope with it. They'll demand private jets. They'll demand. They don't want to walk on the floor. They want to be carried everywhere, and all of these things have to be met. Sometimes it's not even in a contract. They just come up with it, but you can't say no. How are you going to say no?
Mm.
Do you want to cancel your show? Or do you want to say, oh, I can't give you this? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, so you can't, oh, sorry. You can't say, oh, I cannot give you this. So cancel my gig or I'm no longer interested. You can't do that.
Mm.
So there's so much demands that comes from them, but you have to meet up with it. You have to find a way to sort of meet their demands, or at least negotiate to meet in the middle, or
I mean, I
sort
asked
of
that question because
make
I
the
was
rest of the
watching
business.
Shank Comics. Can you hear me? I asked the
Yeah, I
question
can.
because I was watching one of Shank Comics video, and I remember Young John saying, to figure out an artist, all artists they proud." Yeah, I think that was how he put it, like artists they proud. So in my head, I'm like, oh, if an artist know that artists generally are proud, then how come promoters are able to still do business with them? I
No,
mean, we understand
most
there are
people
contracts, but sometimes, you can't really bend human behavior to the terms of a contract, so to say.
most people cannot cope with it. And sometimes when you see promoters leave the business, it's not just because of financial strains or because of um they're making losses. Sometimes they cannot cope with artists. And
Mm.
I'm genius in that. I'm genius in that side. I'm genius in that department. And that's why with all my artists, I have a very, very good relationship with all the artists I work with. All.
Wow.
So people sort of try to figure it out, like what's going on. Has he got so much money in the bank to still be able to work with these people, or how is he
Mm.
doing it? But there's a way I deal with them that even an artist that is asking me for private jet, the
Mm.
moment you get to meet me in person, you're going to ask me, Baron, don't worry, send the private jet away. I'll just be with you. Even if you have a Uber car, I'll be with you. So there is you have to be trained to get to that level.
Yeah.
You have to respect them so much and rub their ego so much and be cool and
Mm.
calm.
Mm.
Very, very important. So
Mm.
if you are able to feed those egos, you'll be able to get to them. And most of them, all these demands and all these things they're doing are huge. They're huge. That's not them. But because
Mm.
they're artists, they're celebrities. So they build those things as if you get across that field, they're actually street people.
Mm. Mm.
Mind you, there are some of them that are just weird. That are just, I mean, just impossible to deal with.
Mm.
Most of the people who never thought they will become superstars or who find themselves in limelight by chance are the most difficult to deal with. Some of these people have they are from wealthy backgrounds, they are well brought up, they are exposed before they become stars. They don't disturb you too much. But there are some that
Yeah.
are fortunate to be there. You see those fortunate ones? Ah, uh,
Yeah.
they are terrible to deal with. But we always try to find balance to work with them, and God so good. We're doing
I
very
mean,
well in that.
have you considered starting a Baron Incorporation school or mentoring for the promotion business?
No, 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 because I am so busy, and this is not just what I do. I'm into a lot of things. So my 24 hours is not enough. I mean, if you know a couple of people who knows me, they'll be able to tell you this. Honestly, this podcast is very very important to me, and I had to attend to it. I was almost canceling, but I just don't want to do it. But I'm not considering that now because of how tight and busy the
Okay.
schedule is. However, maybe in future, but I have people who work with me, and from
Mm.
that, I try to empower them. I have a couple of friends, brothers who work with me, and one way or the other, if there's a way to empower them, I actually do.
Mm.
And from there, they're able to be independent, and then they
Definitely.
stand on their own. Yeah. So
Yeah, I hope you're extending this kindness and expertise to Nigerians as well in Nigeria, and not because I feel like not everybody has the privilege to fly outside of the country to tap from your well of knowledge in this area.
yeah,
So
yeah. To be honest, I do shows around the world. So and anytime I'm in Nigeria, I have events. So I don't travel to any country without doing an event.
mm,
Do you understand? Even if I'm going to a country for medical trip, right?
mm,
I make phone calls to set up an event there. That's how much it is. So if I'm going to wherever country I need to travel to, whether it's Russia or anything, for something that's not even entertainment related, I
mm,
ring the best venues over there. I ring the artists that are on my calendar and say, "Hey, are you okay? Do you want to go to Russia? Hey, do you want to go to Russia?" And then, yeah, let's go to Russia. Then I ring up venue. Hey, is your venue available? I'm bringing superstar, blah blah blah, to Russia. Yes, bring him in. Hey, and then, hey, Russia, I'm bringing so person in. And guess what? Most of the time, a lot of places, a lot of countries don't have this privilege and um, this power to do all of these things, and I get it done. So that way, whether it's Nigeria, whether it's Europe, wherever it is, you get to work with me. So as soon as you just
mm,
see any sort of presser or flyers or promotion going on with my input on it, hit me up and we work together. Do you understand?
mm.
In Nigeria, I'm,
Yeah.
I'm always in Nigeria in December, and I have at least 3, 4, 5 gigs in Nigeria over that time. So
Mm.
if there are people who want to work with me at that time, that's the avenue to do it. So,
Interesting.
and that's the way to
That's
do it.
that's That's very interesting. Thank you so much, Olamide, for joining us on this session. I promise not to take too much of your time because I know your time is golden. I mean, it's a very big privilege to have you on our platform. And, one thing I've realized is the Nigerian government itself needs to recognize your area and, the promoters that are promoting the
Yeah,
Nigerian culture, Nigerian art all over the world. There should be like some kind of, recognition award. I think that would boost the sector more and make people more interested in going into that area or even trying to invest in that area, not physically, present or whatever, but, supporting with finances and seeing the need to, boost that area so that, the entertainment world do not die, so to say, just to preserve
yeah,
the entertainment world.
yeah.
Basically, thank you so much for joining. It's been very interesting, and I'd like to also know more about the promotion business, probably off record or off camera. But anyways,
No
thank you
problem.
so much for joining us on this show, and we hope that when next we call on you, you'll be willing to join us in person
I'm
if you have
all,
the time.
I'm all,
Okay.
yeah, impressive, of course, of course, of course. We're doing this together, and we're doing it for the culture. We're doing it for. So I would always try to sort of give my time and sort of give my support. So anytime, just hit me up. Would always find a way to do something.
Thank you so much, Olamide. That's very, very relaxing. That's something I would actually look forward to as well. And trust me not to buzz into your DMs all the time because I really don't understand how people's time, people try to
No
manage their
problem.
time and all. But thank you so much for joining me on this platform. I really do appreciate. And to my amazing viewers and listeners all over the world, you've heard from Olamide Baron, a very big promoter, not just known in the UK, but as I mentioned earlier, all over the world. Is a global promoter. If you really want to know more about, the Baron Incorporation, you can follow him on Instagram. I will put in on his Instagram links on all our social media platforms as well. So you can actually follow him, ask questions. You can also find a way to invest as well into the promotion business, so to say, and learn more. Nobody's an island of knowledge. So we've come to the end of the show. And we promise to, continue to share with you interesting other episodes on different areas that covers Nigerians. Basically, no sentiment for Nigerians, either Nigerians in diaspora or Nigerians in Nigeria. And we'll be releasing this every time on our YouTube channel. So just subscribe so you can get notified. Continue to like and share with your friends. You never know who would be watching this video and who will be learning one or two from the video. Until next time, I remain your amazing host, Temiloluwa Ogundele, and keep learning, keep shining, keep exploring. Bye.